It's time for the type of energy only Darren McCarty and Neil Rule can give. It's time for Big D Energy, live on Woodward Sports. Join four-time Stanley Cup champion and legendary badass Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., as they give their takes on all things Detroit sports. The number one midday show in Detroit is on. Welcome to Big D Energy.
Yo, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Big D Energy, right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neil Rule. There's my friend, Sean Belesian. He's in for Darren McCarty. Hi, friend.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man.
Good.
Look, here's how it's going to go today, Sean. We got a special guest in studio, very cool event that goes on in Detroit every year. We're gonna talk to him. When we come back from the break, I want to re-rack the Red Wing stuff, and they say you shouldn't do this in this business, right? Because it's yesterday's news or whatever. But I have you here, and it's time to lay the cards on the table.
It's bigger than yesterday's news, and I think everybody realizes that. We have to take a serious look. Where is this all at?
And bingo, that's it exactly. You're the best in the business at it when it comes to hockey. That's a fact, that's a fact, not opinion. We got Chase in the Chase Lounge. KG is here. Spencer Raxter is here as well. All of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread, jump into there, get your thoughts out there for sure. But we did want to start, and you guys know, we're big on the community here. We're big on stuff that goes on in Detroit. We're big about Detroit here. And we did this last year, and it's that time of year again. The Detroit Grand Prix is not that far away, everybody. May 30th to June 1st. It's coming back downtown. Go to Detroit GP to get some tickets. And a lot of you go, and you enjoy it. And when you enjoy it, you go to the souvenir stands and stuff like that. I know the poster is a big seller right now. We'd like to welcome to the studio Eli Archer. He's a student at the College for Creative Studies in downtown Detroit. He designed the poster that was chosen at the contest. Eli, appreciate you stopping by. And I did want to start with this, my friend. You are an Indiana native, right? From Noblesville, Indiana.
Yeah.
You come up, you want to go to school, you want to go to college, obviously big in art. Downtown Detroit is a pretty big jump from Noblesville, Indiana. How do you like your time at the College for Creative Studies in downtown Detroit, man?
Well, I've been enjoying it a lot. It's been really nice to be somewhere new and kind of experience a new community, and all the teachers are great.
Perfect, man, and you're part of the Detroit revitalization, my friend. You are. But let's start right there. The Detroit Grand Prix poster. Spencer just put it up there.
What a beauty! Look at that.
Walk us through it, man. Take us through the inspiration.
So I was inspired by a lot of the murals and public art in Detroit, and kind of the evolution, modernization of Detroit, all the things that I knew of, at least, that it had been through. And the one mural in particular that I was inspired by the most was the girl with the Detroit D earring, because that was a modernization version of the old painting of the girl with the pearl earring. And so I kind of wanted to take that idea into my piece of kind of personifying Detroit in this more, I guess, modernized way as it continues to evolve, and as the Grand Prix continues to evolve, and put it literally in the race with my little car roller skates. So that was kind of the inspiration for that part.
How long did it take you to do something like that? Because I heard, Neil, you were talking with Eli before the show began, and you spoke for me. There are things that I can do. There are things that I cannot do. And art is definitely one of them. I cannot do it. I mean, seriously, you get an idea in your mind. Walk us through that process to actually getting it down and making something as beautiful as that.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, it starts with ideation and thumbnailing, and I ended up doing maybe 5 to 7 thumbnails, I think, for this particular piece to get the composition and stuff right. It was a lot of drawing and redrawing to kind of figure out what would be the best for the poster, what would carry the energy over. And then, it's kind of, once you know what you're doing, it's kind of more of a straight shot to the finish line. So I think we had several weeks to work on it. I'm not really sure what my hour on it is. I would guess about maybe 10 overall.
Wow. Eli Archer, our guest here, a student at the College for Creative Studies. They're in downtown Detroit. He's the one that designed the Detroit Grand Prix poster that you'll be able to buy at the Detroit Grand Prix. So I guess, Eli, that's my main question in all this. How does it feel to know that you designed something that they're going to sell thousands of them? We have some up in my kid's bedroom, as a matter of fact. That's got to be pretty awesome, man, to know that you as an artist, right? Like, that's what you're looking for. Like, you want a lasting piece, no matter what happens, with with your art career, wherever you end up going, that will be on the walls of people's homes. How does that feel, man? I
mean, it's unbelievable. It's crazy. I'm very grateful for the opportunity and the experience, and it's just been very cool.
That is very awesome. The people in the chat, Justin Station says that's pretty damn good. So I think that sums it up. I think that sums it up pretty well. Eli, what are your aspirations, man? And for those that don't know, too, the College for Creative Studies is a big time art college that is in downtown Detroit. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do?
Well, my biggest dream is, like, I write too, and so I have been writing and working to create my own comics and graphic novels for a few years now.
Hey!
So that's really what I want to do, most of all. But I'm also interested in art education, so I'm currently minoring in that and on track to get my teaching certificate. But that's also I would like to have, salary out of college, so that's my goal, is go into teaching and then maybe work on the comic stuff.
Yeah, well, Spencer's fired up about it, so Spenny, if you want to run any ideas by him, stuff
Sean
you
on
want.
Webtoons. I'm an idea man. I'm like Sean. I'm not an artist at all. I do stick figures, but I'm an idea man.
World's full of idea man.
World's full of idea man.
Eli, talk about the art of Detroit too, because I was fascinated to hear you say that. I've been down there 50,000 times in my life, right? You go to games, you do this, you do that. And honest to goodness, one of the things that there's always something different that catches my eye. Whether it be the architecture, in my mind, is art in and of itself, and the art. I mean, Detroit really is an artful city, and I'm not sure a lot of people realize that.
Yeah. I
mean, were you surprised by that when you got here?
Yes, absolutely, because I've seen more public art and, like, murals and I think sculptures even too, like, here in Detroit than, like, I ever saw where I lived in Indiana. So I was really blown away by it, and I was really attracted to it when I was, like, touring, like, the college and the area, because I don't know, it's beautiful and it's inspiring, and it makes me so happy to see art being valued, like, because so often I think I just think that people kind of, there's so much to look at, I think, especially with, like, social media, that you kind of forget that it's there.
Yeah.
So I think it's cool.
Yeah.
That you're 100% true, because I KG, our sound guy, he and I talk about that, because it's something I overlook. I do, and there's a segment, right? Because I always joke with them. I'm like, oh, you mean it's graffiti? Like, it's painting on the walls and stuff like that. But there is something, and I've noticed this, right? And you brought it up, and it's something that I overlook a lot. Like, there is an angle of it. There is a lot of art in Detroit, not just the Institute of Arts building or things like that. Like, there is a lot of art, and lots of love for you in the chat. Adiz 411, go Eli, congratulations. Have a great creative mind. Phil wants to know, was that hand done or was it done on a computer?
Well, I had it on a drawing tablet, so I drew directly onto the tablet.
Okay, so. There you go. That's your answer. A little bit of both, I guess.
Yeah.
Spenny, what do you got?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, like, if you could be commissioned to depict one person as a mural, like, on the side of a building, like something you see, who would it be? Who would you want to be your mural?
Oh wow, like any person?
Any person, yeah.
Oh man.
The cast of Big D Energy.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Maybe we'd be second.
Yeah. Oh. To represent, like, a mural for Detroit, or just like in general?
For you.
For you.
Yeah. The Eli Archer mural.
Yeah.
Oh wow. You know what? I think I think I'm tempted to say I'm kind of a I guess I'm kind of sentimental, because I would probably want to do some of my closest friends, I think.
There you go.
The squad. There
Yeah.
you go. He put the
boys.
squad up there.
Yeah.
Spenny, this is your guy right here,
I
man.
respect that 100%.
This is your squad, man. Well, Eli, we appreciate you stopping by for sure. Big thanks to my guy Bobby Keys, your buddy Colin as well for getting you out here and coordinating all of it. And it's very cool, man. You're a fascinating guy to talk to for sure. Great job doing it with the poster as well. So it's one of those things, man, where I just go back to it.
Gosh,
That's
what a
going to
beaut.
be hanging up in people's
Look
houses
at
for a
that,
long time, and you
dude.
did that, my friend. So you should be proud of that, my friend.
Well, thank
That's
you so much.
cool. And I'm going to say this again, Neil. Honestly, that is an event that everybody should go to one time. I'm serious. And maybe you're not race car guy or something. I know Chase is big into it. If you guys haven't been down there, it's an event. It's not a race. It's an event.
It is.
And I like it on the streets. It was great on Belle Isle, no doubt about that. But that is an event. And as you said, to all the gearheads out there, and even the people that look at it as an event, your poster is going to be hanging on their walls for years, man. That's pretty cool.
Absolutely. Go to DetroitGP.com. Get your tickets. You can buy the merch as well. You can buy Eli's poster. Also, Eli, thanks again, my friend. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, there he is, Eli
I served Dylan
Archer,
Larkin
everybody.
beer at the Grand Prix one year.
What's that?
I said I served Dylan Larkin beer at the Grand Prix when I was working for Andiamo one year.
You're part of the lineage too, Spenny.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this, and let's take the break. When we come back, I do want to re-rack the Red Wing stuff with Sean, some Tiger stuff as well. People want Javi Watch. We'll do the Javi Watch. We had boots on the ground for Javi Watch,
Boots on the
Spenny.
ground, yeah.
A viewer of the show.
And Trav. Trav is there too.
Trav was there as well.
Yeah.
So we got it all covered, and we're going deeper into the NFL draft. That's the rundown for today, everybody. So get locked in, get loaded, and get ready to go. And speaking of locked in, get locked into Buddy's Pizza for lunch today.
go,
A Detroit institution, Sean. There it is up there on the screen. They've been in the game since 1946. 22 locations. There's a Buddy's Pizza near you. They're a cornerstone in the state, like the Detroit Grand Prix. Buddy's Pizza is a cornerstone in Detroit as well. They've been here for 79 years. They've done great partnerships with the Michigan Humane Society, Salvation Army, Detroit Zoo, and more. And the bottom line is this. You're going to get it for lunch anyway. Save 10%. Use the promo code 10meal at buddyspizza.com. Buddy's Pizza, the original. They invented Detroit-style pizza. Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Your boy KG is here to tell y'all about the latest and greatest stuff from Mad Packs, man. Big shout out to Mad Packs. They looked out for us on opening day, and they can look out for you too, man. Mad Packs is the hottest new cannabis brand, and they are partnering with Woodward Sports. What does that mean? It means I'm going to be feeling good all day, all week, all month, all year, man. And basically, it's off the high-low, man. High-low is getting you high for the low, delivering top-tier quality at unbeatable prices. Boom shakalaka. Boom shakalaka is a live resin infused tarantula. This one's the bomb. Blizzard Patch THCA Moon Rocks. Hit like a blizzard. Coming to retailers near you next month. Stay tuned to Woodward Sports for all of the latest updates.
All right, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network back at it. Neil Rule, Sean Belizean, KG back in the fold, chasing the Chase Lounge, Spencer Raxter as well.
Before we get into it, I do just want to shout out my institution, my school, my university, Michigan State, actually diving into the NIL waters a little bit, diving into the transfer portal waters. Justin told me they got a kid in hockey. He's the number 4 pick in the draft. Big, physical, rugged dude. You love to see that. They retained all of their best players, throwing some NIL money around. And then they just got Caleb Glenn in the transfer portal for basketball. 6'7" wing from Florida Atlantic, shot 41+% from 3 last year. Played high school ball with Jeremy Fears. So very good signing. Needed shooting, needed wing players, and you got one. Still work to be done, but that is a good start for Michigan State basketball and hockey.
And this is the way that it is
You
now.
gotta do
So
it.
everybody get comfortable. And Spartan fan, you guys got your first taste of it this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
You did.
And Trey could still come back. He still hasn't gone anywhere, but
Isaac Howard's coming back too.
Isaac Howard's coming
I mean,
back.
it's crazy.
Isaac Howard's coming back. Trey Augustine's coming back.
It's huge.
They're-
Yeah, it's huge.
We have 2 players on our roster now.
Yeah. That's what, dude. It's the Wild West, man.
Yeah.
Well, if
100%.
if we're giving shout outs, can I give a shout out to my Traeger app?
Yeah.
I'm literally looking at the ribs on my Traeger right now, and they're sitting at 245, and they have been on there for an hour and 42 minutes.
You got a ring camera for your meat?
No, so it's basically a temp
Oh, the
gauge.
thermometer?
Yeah, the
Okay.
thermometer.
Yeah, it's called
And
Snapchat.
So
Yeah.
all I do, if I had, could you imagine that?
Snap meat?
I'd run in the bathroom during the breaks. I mean, I'd whip off a real
meat.
quick batch looking at that. But no, that's the best thing about it is I can time this. It's like, all right, you know what? By the time I get home, then I'll wrap it in some butcher paper. Like I was telling you, KG, when you guys came over, that was the short process. I want to have you over where I can do the long process, where I do the 6-hour ribs.
Oh.
And these are the 6 hours. So literally right now, one push on my phone, I can see how my ribs are doing.
Oh,
Technology.
they better not be the rock ribs. You know you owe me a
No,
batch of
no,
those.
I'm gonna get some Duroc. I'll
Okay.
find.
All right.
No, right? Just some good old fashioned baby backs. I got a couple
Hey,
racks
I'm mad
on,
at
the,
that.
on the thing.
I love ribs.
That's my art, Neil.
Ribs are top tier.
It is your art.
How
Yeah,
about-
and you're an artist.
How
You
about
are
that?
an artist.
Yeah.
How about that picture though? That dude Eli. That's
it's fire.
money. Good for him.
No, a lot of positive stuff. And again,
Look
shout
at
out
that.
to Eli
That's
Archer.
so cool,
That's
dude.
very cool.
Yeah.
KG, your thoughts, man.
Oh, it's a great poster. I'm absolutely happy for him, and like you said, it's going to be hanging in a lot of basements more than he realizes. So.
And I just wish I was that talented
Yeah.
at anything. Like
Me too.
one thing. He said that took him 10 hours. I got 160 hours in that video game I'm playing. I'm still cheeks. Like it's I'm not cheeks.
Yeah, I was about to say you can't.
You got to get your 10,000 hours in,
I
Scotty.
had an under 2-minute tempered Rathalos hunt yesterday. That was pretty crazy. Nobody knows what that means, but it's
Yeah,
okay.
he kind of hand drew that too. I know he used the computer to do it, but
That's
he
just
basically hand
impressive
drew.
stuff.
Yeah, and that's actually pretty cool. I didn't even think about that. Like they hand draw it digitally, and then it's
Yeah.
like there digitally, so you can rock with it. It's
fire, bro.
And then the chat responds in only the fashion that the chat responds, just a fan.
that
Neil, are you going to commission Eli to make an El Mago mural at your home?
There you go.
You should.
How great would that be?
If Javi finishes above 250, you need to call him back and get a Javi
Then you
picture.
get KG in the cloth.
Yep,
Praise
yep.
him.
Praise
You know?
Javier.
I'm
Praise
not
him.
gonna- I'm
We
not
could do a
gonna drop-
time lapse of him doing it on the wall in the
Right.
living room.
I'm not going to drop any names, but when I worked at Andiamo, we did house part. Like I was on the off-premise staff where we'd go and do the
catering.
events,
The
like,
catering,
like
yeah.
Jazz Fest and Grand Prix and all that stuff. And we would do private events at people's houses, like wedding showers, stuff like that. And these were some
The rich folks.
rich-ass
Yeah.
fucking houses. And I'm not going to say his name, but we went to a house, and in the middle of his living room, probably twice the size of our back wall, was a giant portrait of himself.
Oh, shit.
Not his family, not him
Yes,
with his family.
that's how I'm gonna do it.
Himself. from the ceiling to the floor.
That's
I
Neil's
was like,
dream.
dude, that is,
Yes.
that is nuts.
I can't wait till we break because I'm begging you to tell me who that is.
Yeah,
I need,
right.
Like I need to know desperately. I really do.
Oh man,
That's hilarious.
I was like, dude, that's crazy.
Steve,
Very
Javi
well
can only bring you back from so many Colt Keith fielding errors. All right, you know what? Let's do the Tigers game yesterday. Yeah, let's do the Tigers game yesterday. Then we'll get into the Red Wing stuff. All right. This is a thing. Is it fair to say the Colt Keith defense thing is the thing that we told you it was going to be?
And offense.
Offensively is not doing well either.
The whole infield.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew it. This is something we talked about for a couple months, and here's the interesting thing, because we live in a society right now, Neil, where what's AJ Hinch supposed to say, right? Like because I saw some people were kind of giving him some shit yesterday. Hey, I'm not worried about it. We're going to be fine. I forget what the exact quote was. What's he supposed to say?
Right.
That you're talking about a kid. This is his players. He's supposed to come out and go, yeah, man, he's been awful. He looks lost. There are Colt moments every game. Like, what's he supposed to say? And AJ's a stand-up guy. AJ always gets the backs of his players and everything. But we can't ignore this anymore. You can't look the other way. This is something that it's in his head, man. He's done this forever.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not like you just suddenly forgot how to do it. He's in his own head right now. Maybe the moment's too big for him. I don't know. All that stuff is open to interpretation, but for anybody to deny that it's a problem, KG, you're lying to yourself.
No, I brought up yesterday that it's a good possibility he could get sent down once Gleyber Torres comes back, because you look at how Justin Henry Malloy's slinging the bat right now. You don't want to send him down. McKinstry's been killing it. Maybe Ryan Kryler will be up for consideration, but besides that, I don't know who else you send down but a Colt Keith, because he hasn't looked good defensively or offensively, and you at least need one of those things to work.
And you're right. You're absolutely right. And Gleyber needs to get back quick, fast, and in a hurry already. And here we are. Please get back. Please get back. Tigers off today, by the way. They will be where are they at Minnesota, right, on Friday. Apple TV game.
Minnesota.
Hey, shout out. I like the Apple TV baseball broadcast.
Yeah,
I don't know if
they're
you've
pretty
ever
sharp.
watched
The
them.
only one I
They
don't
solid.
have is Apple TV.
Yeah.
It's the only streaming service I don't have.
Yeah, I mean, sharp picture, all that kind of stuff
Yeah.
as well. We did have boots on. We have an in-person Javi watch.
Hey, I love it.
Okay, Nick Lucido,
Shout out.
noted New York fan.
Yeah, shout out Nick.
He sent video footage. Let's check in on Javi yesterday, shall we? Because Nick was there with the guys. Pretty good seats for Nick Lucido, too.
Man.
He's a big timer with General Motors.
They were available yesterday.
No, that's okay. Leave the man alone. Let him
It's first pitch.
stall him out. Come on. Let that man breathe. Fans they're in. Okay, I'm sure everything will be good here. I'm sure it will be. Let's see.
Look at that approach.
Look at that.
He's
Waving
right.
the
Oh,
stick,
he's
waving
locked
the
in.
stick. He knows.
He's locked in. Oh, that was right down the middle.
Bye-bye.
I thought with the late.
Oh, Javi's got to get that call.
Damn.
Do they know that he's, quote, having a good season, unquote?
He is.
Okay. Well, later on in the game,
I mean, the umps haven't been the best this
This is
whole
better.
series, though.
Yeah, it's going to be
baseball.
better, right?
Swing.
Wait a minute.
That's okay.
Oh, he's walking back?
Yeah?
All right, well,
was the
hey.
third
Hey, it's
strike?
one
All
game.
right.
It's a tough day at the office.
One
you can't
for
get
three,
them all.
right? 1 for 3. Everything's okay. Just
got
find
a
a way
knock.
to get it.
You got a
You're gonna
knock.
be okay.
3 strikeouts,
Yeah.
but a knock.
Yeah. So,
Who struck out more, him or Riley Green?
This year, it's probably Riley Green. Riley Green had 2 yesterday.
I rest my case.
Yeah. There were 3.
Well, I
I
mean-
think there were 3 Tigers with 3 strikeouts yesterday. They were just.
Yeah.
It was a bad day for the bats. They
no,
tried
Max
to-
Fried. Max Fried's
Max
good.
Fried,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's why.
Yeah.
Yes, I desperately wanted Max Fried in the office, but we didn't need him. So
Yeah.
He's a guy that has flown under the radar for way too long.
Yeah.
He's been very, very good.
He's a top end rotation guy.
Yeah.
Dan Dickerson yesterday was talking about his contract on the air, and I was stunned. Like, it was like $27 million a year or something like that. 28. It was very, very affordable for
Yeah.
what Max Fried is.
And the Braves did nothing but jerk him around. Remember,
Yeah,
they
I
made
don't
him sign that
understand that.
1-year deal, and then he declined the qualifying offer, and it was like, how do you let a guy like that walk away? Mm-hmm. I hope we don't ask ourselves that question.
To the Yankees of all teams. We know they missing pitching. Right. But it is what it is. That's their only pitcher, though.
yeah.
Oh, it's incredible.
Literally, they only
Don't
pitcher.
tell Brian Cashman, though. Like,
Right.
seriously, he's the only one that's not in on the secret, so don't tell him that pitching has hurt them for the last 16 years.
Yeah,
don't,
right.
don't tell him.
Sam Flannel in the chat.
Shout out.
Javi's single in the ninth helped spur the rally that almost led to the Tigers'
Was
comeback.
once again the catalyst, as
That
I
is
love
true.
to call him.
The offense goes with Javi Baez.
I love Sean's reaction every time I say that.
It
He
does.
was the catalyst, man.
So Javi watch, good season, right?
Yeah.
He's having a good season.
Boy, here we go.
What?
I'm just
Here
enjoying
comes
this.
the hay. Break it up, break it up, break it up.
6 strikeouts, 9 hits.
There you go.
Okay. Hitting 321
Here comes the hay.
with a slugging percentage of 393.
There you go.
How is that hate when I'm reading it to you?
He's been Singlio, but
It don't matter. He getting on
I
base.
love the
Get
mighty
on-
Singlio.
Singlier Baez.
Yeah.
yeah.
So much.
Singlier
El
Baez.
Singlio.
His mighty flare into right field.
Yeah,
that was
right.
just
El Singlio.
standing at the plate like this, gazing at his mighty flare.
OPS of 738.
I'll take it any day of the week.
Exactly.
Out of
his,
him, that's the worst part. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really
his
great.
WAR did improve to 0.2
There we go.
We getting there.
from
Hey,
0.1.
We getting there, Neil.
738
Baby
OPS would have
steps.
been like third on the team last year.
Getting there.
With baby steps, man.
Okay.
And you ain't even brought up the Gold Glove defense and the tagging that we've seen.
I know.
Shortstop, third, center field. Where you want him at? He got
He has not made a bad play so far defensively.
Yes.
will say
Alan W. Now compare to Colt Keith's stats, please.
No, for
well,
real.
our Javi's stats 6 times better than Colt Keith's? Because that's what his money is.
no.
It's getting pretty close.
It has to be. No. Crazy clown. He's batting 318. Yes, with a 393 slugging percentage. Singlier Baez.
Leave the man alone. He's doing
What?
doing well.
All I'm doing. Where, Sean?
He's
I go to
doing
you.
well.
You're the independent arbitrator
Well,
here. Sean, did I not just
516
read?
or
Did I
730?
not just read off the paper?
It is-
516 or 738.
Well, you know what? The crazy thing is when we're talking about this it is not your fault. I need to point that out. It is not. This is not Neil's fault. But I also have to. I'm not trying to be fair. I'm just being honest. We also have to consider what KG and Spenny both said. It's Javi Baez.
Yep.
Right? Like
This is a godsend for him.
anything would be improvement. I mean, it was a historically bad, worst player in the league production last year. So yeah, if we're left saying he's doing better, Neil, here it comes. Both things are true.
Would you rather have 2 Colt Keiths in your lineup right now, or
Hell no.
Javi Baez who'll get you a single every 3 at bats?
And a double play every night.
yeah,
Well, not quite every 3 at bats. And
Almost.
for every single he gets, he strikes out too.
I'll take it. I'll take the singles. It's better than just striking out.
All right.
Woodward Sports chat thread. Robert Colosi in the super chat. Remember the Big D catchphrase? Flannel's a bozo. So I haven't dropped one of those in a long time, man. Nick Lucido in the chat. Javi watch. Nick, thank you for boots on the
Thank you,
ground.
Nick.
Thank
That
you,
was
Nick.
unedited.
Yeah.
I didn't edit it.
Raw footage.
Raw footage.
Yeah, it was.
That's what happened.
We appreciate
Just
that.
like when I read the stats, that was unedited.
Raw numbers.
Raw numbers.
Your tone is better today. I'll give you that in terms of Javi. You didn't want to come in here and do Javi watch for real. I can see it.
Yeah. So there you go.
Where's the Maeda watch though? Didn't he take the mound or down? They had
No.
him warming up.
No.
They had him warming up.
No.
Thank God.
That's all
Steve.
we're gonna see. We're gonna see bullpen action. Kenta Maeda warming up.
I will
and
see
he
his ass
sits
right back down.
Yeah.
I will do Kenta watch as needed, as he
no,
plays.
absolutely.
We were
Absolutely.
talking about it. So we're going to the afternoon game in Milwaukee next Wednesday, and then going to the game the next day against Kansas City. And that was the first thing my kid said to me. He goes, we'll get back-to-back Kenta.
Oh,
they're
no.
gonna give him a breather. He's gonna figure things out again, because that he's gonna. And he goes, we're
He's got to
probably
warm
gonna
up a
get
little bit,
back-to-back.
Sean. He's an old guy. It's
cold.
He's more about placement and movement and feeling his
Precision.
pitches. Just warm up a little bit. Shoulders got to get a little loose, and then he can go out there and he can give up, a couple home runs.
Yeah. That
s-
fastball topping out at 88, man. Stop playing.
Steve in the chat. Neil, did you see Javi's interview where he said he'll play anywhere in the field and just wants to play baseball? How can you hate Javi?
Just keep on trucking, Neil. You got to keep on
I'm cool.
trucking.
Woodward Sports chat thread, Noah Messi. He's actually trying. I said that yesterday.
He's trying.
He is trying.
He didn't just pack it in and say, give me my money, my hamstrings hurt. I
That
gave
was
him credit
probably
for
the
that.
nicest thing you've ever said about Javi.
There,
Baez.
I'm a realist, man.
I give you that.
Like I deal in realism. All right, when we come back, I want to get Sean's take on the Red Wings situation. I do. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it. We're going to go NFL draft heavy today.
Did
We
you
are.
bury him?
Who?
The Red Wings. Did you
I did
bury it?
before it happened.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just making sure he's dead and buried now. You got the shovel, the little spot in the backyard.
I did it, Pa.
Okay.
You
ain't hiding them in the closet, are you?
I rose the gun up.
All right.
And then I started crying, and I pulled it back.
The real quiet,
But
then
then,
the bang.
but then I went back in and
double tap.
I put him down.
Oh, the double tap. Okay.
No, like it was
out
hard to do.
Zombieland.
It was. All right, let's talk about Lady Jane's.
Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. You can come in, get an award-winning haircut from one of our lovely, talented stylists. Get a hot leather, neck shave, scalp massage, hot towel treatment, all that good stuff. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, sit down, relax. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
Let's give it up for David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Looking to buy or sell your home, Mark White should be your first choice because he can save you up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Just visit him at markwhitesells.com or give him a call at 248-290-8242. It's Mark White. He'll get you into your dream home.
All right, back at it. Big D Energy, Neil Rule, Sean Belizean, KG, Spencer Raxter, Chase in the Chase Lounge. Just got an email from Kevin Grigg with the Pistons. Jaden Ivey medical update. Pistons guard Jaden Ivey continues to make progress from his recovery in the broken left fibula, which he suffered on January 1st against Orlando. He has been cleared for basketball activity and will now enter the beginning phase of a reconditioning progression, along with a continued progression of court work. Ivey's status will be updated in another 2 weeks. So,
I love it.
By the way, shout out
I
to
love
Kevin
it.
Grigg. Do you know this about him? He is part of a team smoked meat that I was a judge at a thing, and they won 2 different categories.
Really?
Greg was part of the team.
Really?
The brisket was Monday.
I'll have to bring that up to him.
No, seriously.
He's been holding out on it.
Yeah, no,
Shout out
seriously.
Kevin Grigg.
Yeah.
They did a great job. I know their brisket won, but I think they won one other category. And phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Good brisket.
Okay.
All right.
KG.
You're right.
Been
Doesn't
holding out
KG.
on me, big bro. Also, too, from the Detroit Pistons this morning, they announced that 2025 individual game playoff tickets will go on sale to the public starting at 10 a.m. on Sunday, April
Yes.
13th.
How cool is
It's
that?
like porn to me.
You can buy the tickets online at, listen to this, pistons.com/playoffs.
Oh!
That's beautiful.
Okay.
Neil, I haven't heard something so beautiful. It's
That's
like the
pretty
draft
cool.
time.
We're back, baby.
It's about effing
That's
time.
pretty cool.
We are back.
That is awesome. That is so cool.
That is. And it kind of gave me some goosebumps right
Yeah.
there, man.
Right, the Pistons, though. Like,
The 14-win last year Pistons.
the 17 win before that Pistons.
And
God
meanwhile, the
damn.
hockey team hasn't made the playoffs once in that arena.
Yeah, a lot of people thought the Red Wings would be quicker to
That
the
is-
to the gun than the
Yeah.
Pistons.
Oh, by the way, the Pistons in the playoffs at LCA for the second
For
time.
the second.
Yeah.
As bad as that franchise has been, okay? No disrespect. Again, speaking factually, as bad as that franchise has been, that's their second time
I will
in
say-
the playoff in that building.
I will say it's easier to get into the playoffs in the NBA than it is the NHL.
Oh,
But
yeah,
That's
it
still
is.
not, it's not an excuse, but
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
That felt good to say.
That
though.
does feel good to see.
Pistons.com/playoffs.
Playoffs.
And not play in.
You're right.
It's not no play in
Playoffs.
bullshit. Playoffs, series starting. Oh man, congratulations to all the Pistons. Shout out to Trajan Langdon, Tom Goris, JB Bickerstaff, Kate Cunningham, everybody, Dwayne
Across
Casey,
the board.
all those guys that had a hand in making this possible, man. The turnaround has been special, Sean.
Yeah, Woodward Sports going to be in the building tonight,
Sean,
man.
Sean, it's been a special turnaround.
Yeah.
Tom, hey,
I believe in
gonna be in the
special
building.
results. I'm sorry, I do.
I know.
I just call me silly like that. No, but I mean, by Piston standards,
Yes.
100%. Nobody denies that.
as you said too, like real talk, Tom Gores, man.
I gained more respect for Tom Goris than I've given away. Like, he put his dick on the table. You say, I made a mistake. Here it is, $70 million. The fuck out of here.
My bad.
Yeah.
Give me JB
Give me
Bickerstaff,
JB
whatever
and
it
went and
takes.
got the best guy on the market.
That's all you can ask for from an owner, man. Just take notes. That's all I'm saying. All right. The Red Wings stuff. Speaking of the Red Wings, who have never played a playoff game at Little Caesars Arena.
Damn shame.
Sean, I go to you, and I've been looking forward to this, and I know, like, I know the game went the way that it went, and Sean, in my heart, I knew when shots were 24-5 in the first period and it was 1-0, I knew.
How many times have you seen
I
that?
knew. A million
The
times.
good news is you're dominating. The bad news is you're dominating.
Yeah.
Right.
But like honest to goodness, and because what happens when a team? What do you think Marty St. Louis said when he went into that locker room? He lit those guys up. What the are you doing? I don't give a shit that this is your 5th game in 8 nights. That was a joke. We're lucky that we're not down 4-0. And Sam Montembeau, who I have nicknamed Sam Montembeaus because he does what looked like the reincarnation of prime Patrick Waugh. And I'm sitting there watching this going, but that's the way he's played. I'm going to ask you guys a question. I'm going to flip the script, okay? Because I had a conversation. I'm not going to say his name, but a guy you would all know. I had a conversation with this guy after the game, and you guys watched the game. Who is the Red Wings' best player on Tuesday? Seriously. Who is the Red Wings' best player?
Probably Patrick Kane.
Yeah, I would say DeBrincat or Kane.
Yeah.
Probably.
Your delay
DeBrincat?
tells me everything that I'm about to say.
Yeah.
Your balls are on the chopping block.
Nobody stepped
It's this. Your chances are this small.
Mm-hmm.
Your chances are this small as it is. And who stepped up in that?
Nobody stepped up.
And you guys, both your pause was, I didn't plan it that way. I knew it would be. Okay, let me take this a step further.
Can I answer it again?
Yeah.
I know who it wasn't.
Yeah, that's a problem. More on that in a second.
Yeah.
1-1 game.
Talbot.
You're still in it. 1-1 game. 3rd period. Okay? Again, everything on the line. All right? Role reversal from last year. The Habs were the scrappy, plucky little team that said, we don't have shit to play for just a year ago. All right? But we're going to give you everything we have. No, regardless, we're going to give you everything we have and make you earn those 2 points. And the Red Wings did, to their credit, okay? Little role reversal going on. Who is the best player in the 3rd period for the Red Wings? This one's going to take longer.
Talbot, probably.
I don't have an answer. Yeah.
Right.
No, I can't say it forward.
That's frightening. I'm sorry.
Edvinson made some good plays.
You guys, to me, that's a bigger problem, not just of what happened Tuesday night, but moving forward. The team as is. Because we can talk about what this player is going to be and that player is surely going to be, because no doubt about it, it always happens. We know that, right? We know that Christian Stewart's going to be the center fielder for 15 years. We know that. That's the best player on the ice, and it wasn't even close, was a kid who turned 21 a couple weeks ago by the name of Lane Hudson.
He was so good.
Wasn't even close. Like, by far, the best player on the ice. And what did he have to show for it? Nothing. He didn't get a point. He had nothing to show for it.
Had the puck on his stick a lot.
Exactly. Puck possession and that little spin move that he made in the corner. And I think right now, what bothers me the most about the Red Wings, and I would hope it would bother all of you, who's the star? Who's the impact player? Who's the guy? They don't have one right now.
They don't.
And that should frighten everybody a little bit, because now again, am I going to sit here and say that there isn't another level to Lucas Raymond? There might be, but what I can tell you definitively is he is spotty impactful. Mm-hmm. He's spotty impactful. Mm-hmm. When he looks good, he looks really good. Okay, and then there are times you're like, what? Where's 23? What happened? And I think
6 goals in the
now,
last 26 games.
Right. I think right now that's my biggest issue with the Red Wings. And after, talking to somebody in the know the other night, we had hours, honestly, about an hour-long conversation about it. I don't know if that guy is going to reveal himself. I don't. At least with what we have here right now, what this team is dealing with right now. We can talk about ASP. We can talk about other pieces. I like Casper.
I like Casper a
right?
lot.
I'm willing. You have to give him a little more rope than the average guy because he hasn't been up that much. But I think that we're coming to this point in time in the rebuild, and many of you are probably going to say this is long overdue. You're going to have to go shopping. You are. You're going to have to go shopping. And the reality is this free agent class, if you haven't looked at it yet, is Mitch Marner and a bunch of meh.
Yes.
That's what this free agent class is. Do you call Don Sweeney in Boston and say, what do we have to give up for Pasta?
Oh, my God,
Well,
Sean.
hold on. Neil, doesn't this come back to the same conversation you and I have had for about a year and a half now? All right? It's a great idea,
I would
right?
love Pasta.
What do you think Don Sweeney's going to ask for
Give
Pasta?
me Axel Sandy-Palika.
He's going to ask for everything.
Yeah. I
Like-
want ASP and Danielson, and yeah.
You got it. I mean, but we're at that point in time, I think, in this process where the Red Wings do have to make a bold move like that.
I think so,
I
too.
don't think as is. You know what my biggest fear is? We're having this exact same conversation a year from now. Well, golly gee, we're close and we got a bunch of nice little pieces and we're better than we were last year, but you're not competing yet. Really competing.
No.
And Neil, that's my concern. If it were me,
How do you fix it?
okay, can I throw Mitch Marner's name out there? And I'm not a Mitch Marner guy. Let me get that out of the way right now. But he is by far the biggest prize. Mitch Marner has decided that he was not going to negotiate with his hometown team. Think Dylan Larkin telling the Red Wings, I'm not going to negotiate with you. I'm going to let this play out. Let's see where the cards fall. Now, that doesn't mean that Mitch Marner's not going to sign in Toronto, okay? But they also have John Tavares up. He's 34. He's not going to get as much, but a Toronto boy as well. Do you tell Mitch Marner, what Leafs are talking $13 million a year right now? We'll give you $14 million a year. We'll give you longer term. We'll give you longer numbers. And find a way to cram that into the situation that you already have. Neil, I got to be honest with you. I think the Red Wings are at that point where they do have to make that bold move. And that move that none of us want to make, that we talked about a year ago at this time, where all those names that you mentioned, Spenny, and your hopes and dreams and aspirations, some of them might not ever make it here because they're going to be used to improve this team in a package deal like that. But I don't believe for a second that Don Sweeney's done in Boston. I think that they're
You can't.
I
do
don't
it
think
halfway.
this is.
You
I don't
can't
think
go
this is a
halfway.
retool. This is a rebuild.
Yeah, you can't go halfway.
Well, and again, I'm going to use this division as an example. When you see what Ottawa's doing, when you see what Montreal's doing, when you see what even Detroit is doing without the results yet, but they have a lot of youth. And Buffalo, again, there's something in the water there, man. They have way too much fucking talent to be as bad as they've been.
Give me Tage Thompson.
If you're Boston, you're going, they're going to blow by us.
Yeah.
We have to make a move.
Boston's rapidly approaching a cliff.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So could a guy like, now this is 100% speculation on my part. I cannot point that out enough. But could a team like Boston say, we're going to take a package of, we want a body that's already established, we want one of your highest prospects, and we'll take a pick as well or something like that. How many teams can afford to pay that price? The Detroit Red Wings are one of them.
Oh, Sean.
I'm just telling you right now. I mean, seriously, look at the criteria.
I love Pasta.
But isn't that everybody wants that package?
Yes.
We want an established body. We want one of your high prospects that's not there yet, and we'll take a first round pick as well. Right? That's the general package. How many teams could pay that? Well, in their own division, Montreal could do that. Don Sweeney would cut off his balls and feed them to his dog before he made that deal with Montreal.
Absolutely.
He would. I mean, they hate each other, okay? He lived it. He played it. Detroit could pay that.
Detroit could pay
But
that.
so
Would
could
Stevie do it, though?
So could Anaheim.
Yeah.
So could San Jose. Would Stevie do it? That's the $1 million question. KG, to answer your question, it's time. They need an impactful player. They do not have an impactful player. Tell me if this. I like Lucas Raymond.
I do too.
I like him. Okay. But I'm not going to call Lucas Raymond something that he isn't.
Yeah.
He was
This is
supposed
the
to make-
Dylan Larkin argument all over again. I like him. I want him.
Right.
Stay here. I've seen him be impactful enough. But in
You got to do it for a full year.
and in a game like Tuesday night, to me, guys, that stuck out like a sore thumb.
Yeah. Last year he turned it on in the second half, didn't really do much the first half. This year is the opposite. He was great in the first half and then just completely shut off in the second half. He was trending to be a top 10 forward for his first half of play. And everybody was like, okay, this is the step we were waiting for. This is what we want. And then just completely fell off. You can't have that. You need to be an entire – and like I said it before. I said it yesterday. I said it on heavyweights. There are only a couple guys that I can look at on this roster and in this organization and say I'm not disappointed with this year. Two of them being Alex DeBrincat and Patrick Kane. Because Alex DeBrincat, you can't ask for anything more.
It's what he is.
From Alex DeBrincat.
He was exactly
than
what he is.
Exactly what he is. He gave you exactly what you needed from him, and he was the best player on your team all year. Patrick Kane, same thing. That's what he is now. He kind of overexceeded what you wanted.
20
from him.
goals, man.
And he did what he did. You love that. Other than that, like obviously Casper had a great rookie year. Soderblom looked like he belongs. So Johansson had a great rookie year.
And you named two guys that were free agents, none of your young talent.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, and I think what was damning about it, you guys, and I remember talking to you guys all about this in like September and October, and KG, you've been kind and you brought this up. I didn't think the Red Wings were a playoff team this year. What I also didn't think is you were going to watch Ottawa and Detroit go like that. Or Ottawa and Montreal go like that. And they did.
I
They
thought
did.
that was the Devils, for sure.
And you guys, what we did, we talked about, I think Montreal and Detroit's arc is so very similar. Even though Montreal got started 3 years later and had a head start with having guys like Suzuki and Caulfield, I think their arc is very similar. And the problem is Nick Suzuki is, nobody could deny this, a number one center.
Yes.
I literally, I'll fight you. Meet me at the corner. If you want to
He's
tell
20
me.
points better than
If you
Larkin,
wanna
and I know
tell me-
points aren't everything, but that's the facts.
Meet me at the corner. I'll fight you on the corner if you tell me Nick Suzuki is a number one center. By every criteria that you would measure a number one center, he checks all the boxes, not just the points. And again, I watched their stud defenseman. Oh, by the way, a guy taken 62nd overall, be the best player on the ice in the biggest game of the year for both teams.
Let's take the break.
That hurts. That's a dagger. Like, honestly, that's a dagger. That's like, it had to be him?
Yes.
That's exactly what he's sick. He's sick.
I'll do it, Paul. All right, I want to continue the discussion. I want to get caught up the cap space next year and all of it, because we got to have that discussion, everybody. I know people are saying, oh, what do you know, why are we talking? Because it's time. It's time, because this is a critical junction. It is. And we'll get into it more. Feldman Chevrolet in Novi, Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer, the nation's #1 EV dealer, and the dealer of the year for 6 years running. I mean, think about it, everybody. Come on, what are we talking about? Great deals on the Silverados, great lease deals right now on the Equinox as well. Scan the QR code above my head right there. You can take a look at the inventory. You can even start the buying or leasing process right there from your phone. It's springtime. On the calendar, it says it's springtime, all right? It will be, okay? Trust me, it will be.
Is it?
Get that new car, everybody. Feldman Chevrolet. Go say hi to George and everybody. Feldman Chevrolet in Novi, Michigan's #1 Chevrolet dealer.
It's winter, too.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. A ton ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports. The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports. No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
Let's give it up for David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Loom canvas, like, come on, what are we doing here? Loom, it's the best in the game, and you can go save 30% off
Facts.
your entire order using promo code WSN30 at any Loom store. There's 38 of them in Michigan, so you'll find one near you. The best product, the best people, Loom Cannabis. Go check it out.
All right, keeping it pushing. Neil Rule, Sean Belizean, KG, Spencer Raxter, Chase in the Chase Lounge, all of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. I just want to say it again because we talked about it during the last segment. Pistons playoff tickets on sale Sunday
damn.
at 10 a.m. Pistons.com/playoff.
I'm like Sean with the pizza when you say that.
Yeah.
It's tingle in my loins when you say that shit.
You know what? See, and that's the thing. Like, as disappointed as we are about the Red Wings, I'm an accentuate the positive guy. Like, even with the Tigers losing, keep winning series. Mm-hmm. You keep winning series. That's
You're
okay.
fine.
It would have been great to spank the Skanks and sweep them. That would have been cool. It didn't happen.
We can't win every game
Can't
against
complain
the
about a
Red
win
Wings.
series.
They did spank them.
Yeah.
They got their get back.
Let's go win every series. So go to Minnesota, win a series. Go to Milwaukee, win a series, and come back home and beat the Royals in a series. And then all of a sudden you're going, holy shit, look at our record, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so there's a lot of positive things to accentuate, you know?
No doubt for sure. All right, Woodward Sports chat thread. Chuck Brewer, Red Wings, year one of Stevie. 17 wins, 49 losses, 5 overtime losses. Stop with they are no better stuff. Mike O'Neill, a.k.a. the Stevie Y apologist. And, look, Mike O, I've done this 100 times, man.
Yeah.
Like, do you like Mo Sider? Do you like Lucas Raymond? Do you like Casper? Do you like Soderblom? Do you like all these guys that they've drafted? The answer is yes, you do. Do you like trading for Alex DeBrincat? Do you like signing Patrick Kane? Yes. However, as Sean said, and that's why we're talking about it right now, because I want the experts' take on it, and I'll do the financial stuff, and then we'll get on to the NFL draft. However, this year is critical. Mm-hmm. Now, there's been constant linear growth. There was a step back this year. Not a huge step back, but a step back. And when you're on the playoff line,
Can't step back.
you can't step back. Mm-hmm. Like, that's it. And so the deficiencies that this team has, because that's where I've been with it pretty much this whole time, Sean. I haven't talked about it a ton, but the bottom line is, where's the dude? Where's the guy? Alex DeBrincat is the guy in his role, pushing 40 goals, right? Kane Caulfield is he's the DeBrincat of the Canadians, who took a big step forward this year, who, by the way, Sean, was a draft pick, first-round pick, in 2019.
15th overall.
So this is the way that it works. So, again, the Canadians, if they've kind of progressed the ladder, they had a step forward from their draft pick in 2019. He's the leading goal scorer on the team. They got a career year from a journeyman goaltender that was waived before in his career. Out of nowhere. Is that fair?
Montum blows.
You don't like the Monty chants?
No! He's bad! No, he's not. But, again, you know what, Neil, to your point, Dude's been money in the last month.
And that's it. And when it mattered the most, when it was all on the line, he's been good.
He's kept their Kosa, and I know I've made this comparison a lot. He's kept their Kosa on the bench more often and not in Dobish, who played at Ohio State. And I told you that's another similarity, I think, between the Wings and the Habs. Dobish is Kosa, and to Augustine is Fowler from BC, who, by the way, were the two best goalies in college hockey this past year. So, he's kept their Kosa on the bench.
Woodward Sports Chat Thread, Skydog. Neil, when the U.S. beat Canada, Larkin was being called underappreciated and underrated. What happened? I'm glad you asked that. They fell off a cliff. Mm-hmm. Information changed. The data changed. And by the way, too, I'll go back to this, Skydog. And if you remember these clips, which you certainly seem to do, then you'll also remember, look at what happens when he's in a third-line role. Remember that? You, mark me on that, guys. Am I bullshitting you on that?
Nope.
No, I am not. Nothing changed. My take didn't change. He was essentially a grind line guy on the U.S. national team.
Do you remember?
He looked good on the first line, too, though, when he was playing instead of Tkachuk.
But when did he excel?
When we were doing... When we were doing the show, do you remember? And they came up the line combinations. You remember a lot of people lost their shit around here. Mm-hmm. And I said, are you kidding me? I think it's great. Let him be that guy. Let him be the energy guy. You're not asking him to try to be something that he isn't. I thought it was a perfect fit, and thus he got the love for it. But, again, I think, Neil, how many times have we had this conversation? I like Mo Sider. I like Lucas Raymond. I like Dylan Larkin. Don't ask me to call them something that they aren't. They aren't the guy yet. The dude, as you said.
Right.
They aren't that guy yet. And in my mind, and we've all had these conversations in private for many times, in my mind after Tuesday night, that ended being a discussion and now becomes a necessity for this team. How do you get the guy? And I think that Steve Yzerman is going to have to go out and get the guy. I do. I really, truly do. And the guy can make everybody around him better, as you know. That's part of the beauty of being the guy. I think Steve Yzerman has to go out and get the guy. Will he? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I don't.
And that's where it is. And look, I'm not going to put an edict on it and say, in the offseason, if they don't get the guy, then it's over and needs to be fired. I won't say that. This was the first bump in the road. How do you respond? And that's the question. Right? That's the question. So for me, I would even lean more towards I want to see more of the draft bounty. That's what I want to see, Sean. Like, I know everyone's going to kick and scream. And Spenny and I had a discussion about it. I can't remember if you were on the show or not, where I was like, $14 million, man, for Marner. Like, $14 million. And he's going to want to sign through age 36, like, because that's the way that it works.
Get ready.
I'm like, I'm still, and Spenny, right? Like, he's like, all gas, no brakes, go. I'm just like,
gotta do it.
Well, I tell you, you got to pay for what you want.
And I don't like Mitch Marner. I think Mitch Marner, in a certain regard, has gotten a free pass.
Why is that? Is it because he's from Toronto?
He's Canadian. There's no doubt in my mind. But 100%, he's Canadian. The shit that people have thrown Nylander's way is so incredibly unfair. I think Nylander has been the guy that answered the bell. I do. I really honestly feel it's because he's a Toronto boy from Toronto. I mean, you guys remember that scene last year where they're arguing on the bench and Austin literally looks at him and goes, "Shut the fuck up." Like, that's what we're doing. And by the way, Austin, his free pass has got to end real soon too.
Yeah.
Prolific goal scorer. But I've watched this guy go all Kaiser Sose many times in the biggest moments.
Absolutely.
Man.
Look at the fucking Four Nations.
Yeah.
He had two grade A scoring chances, missed both of them. Guess what? You put the grade A scoring chance on the best player in the world stick, and he buries it.
Bang, bang. Yeah, that's a wrap.
Honestly, I think it would probably be in Mitch's best interest to leave Toronto. Will he? I don't know. But the pressure that he has there is immense, even with a lot of people giving him a free pass. And he would be think about who you could play with him. You know what I mean? I mean, I think it would be a bold statement, and I think it would help the Red Wings kind of counter the blow of both Ottawa and in particular Montreal, who's on the fast track now.
And,
I mean, the fact that they got Ivan Demidov, he's going to play on Friday, my jaw dropped. I'm not going to lie.
And I like Easy likes hockey. He's not a big fan. He watches the Red Wings. He doesn't really watch any other hockey other than the Red Wings.
He hits me up a lot. We chat hockey.
He likes hockey.
Yeah.
He does. And so we're talking about it, and because we talked about it yesterday, and I was mentioning the moves that Kenny Holland made to keep it going. The Alfredsons, the Madanos, the Franz Nielsen, stuff like that. So I said on heavyweights yesterday that I want them to go get Mitch Marner. I think you go get Mitch Marner. You have a stud, and he asked me if that was a Stanley Cup move. Like that. That's getting Mitch Marner is not the same as we're selling out to make the playoffs, like those Alfredson and then those moves were. This is getting one of the top 10 players in the NHL in his physical prime and putting him on a team that if you have Mitch Marner with the rest of the guys around him, Dylan Larkin's on the 2C, and you look at that is a Eastern Conference contending team in the NHL with the stroke of a pen.
And I think you're keeping up with the pact. And Spenny, I know you know this. I don't know if you guys know this. The Habs came to an agreement with Ivan Demidov.
Yes.
Who there are people that have said he's the best Russian hockey player since Alexander Ovechkin.
Mm-hmm.
That's
praise.
A pretty big
High
statement.
bar.
One guy, a guy on TSN who follows juniors extensively, Craig Button, said he is the number one prospect in hockey. The Habs weren't supposed to get him for a long time from now, and they made out a deal with his team, St. Petersburg, in the KHL, and brought him up there. So here's the thing. This is what I remind people, okay? Like Spenny, and I know you are probably the conductor on the ASP train. Hey, that's cool, but at the same time, look what Ottawa has waiting in the wings. Look at Montreal with a kid here already and 2 more defensemen coming next year. It's insane, and I think the Red Wings have to keep pace. I really, truly do.
Did you see what Sergey said about the Red Wings? He was interviewed recently.
Oh, look at Neil.
No, what'd he say?
This is RG Media did an interview with Sergey, and they talked to him about different things and his relationship with the Red Wings, which he said there isn't one. He doesn't have a relationship with the Red Wings.
Sad.
But he also said if they called him, he would go there.
Hey.
If they picked up the phone, he said if they picked up the phone, he said he's just busy. It's not hard feelings or anything like that. He's just very busy. And he ended it by saying, if they invited me, I'd come. And this is courtesy of Red Wings prospects. They quoted some of the article from RG Media. But the question was, how do you assess the state of the Detroit Red Wings? They haven't made the playoffs since 2016. And Sergey said, they seem stuck. They have a good coach, but no strong goalie tandem and not enough key players. It's a young team without veterans, and that makes the rebuild even harder. I don't see 3 or 4 strong mobile defensemen there. Steve Yzerman is doing solid work through the draft, but it takes more than that. Their last right shooting forward left for a bigger contract, and that didn't help either. So, Sergey...
that sounds familiar. I think he's kind of seeing the same thing that I'm seeing.
It's about what everybody's saying.
There isn't an impact guy.
They don't have the upper echelon talent.
We have to stop, and I don't want to say that it's going down Al Vila Road because these are guys that have shown themselves, but I think we have to stop turning these guys into something that they aren't. And I think we're all a little guilty of it, and even the guys that are here, and people get mad at you, and Neil, this is when guys like you and I say it's not my fault. And here, let me say, you said it, Steve Yzerman should not be fired. I'm sorry, there's a lot of talent here, okay?
Yeah.
He's done a really good job. They're behind schedule. There's no doubt about that.
They took a step back.
They are behind schedule.
This year was off schedule.
Like, honestly, if I had to compare, I think Ottawa's probably on their right trajectory. Montreal is 2 years ahead of schedule. And I'm not saying that as a slapdick. You guys saw them the other night, and I think people see what's coming as well.
That's what happens when a kid steps in and he's a star immediately.
Right. That's Lane Hudson was the best player on the ice.
Absolutely.
Wasn't like, okay, cool. Like no debate. Everybody knew what was at stake. The Habs were shitting their pants. Oh my gosh, Detroit could be only 4 games behind us, and they won going away. They're probably a year or two ahead of schedule. So now it's Detroit's move. And I think they need a decisive move. Not, hey, here's ASP. He's good now, but you just wait to see how good he is. Aren't you guys sick of that? Like, I'm not being funny. Aren't you sick of
Sean,
this kid's good, but just wait till you see how good he is?
I would say the issue is I haven't even got to that, where here's this kid. He's really good now. Wait and see how good he gets. We haven't gotten to here's this kid. We haven't for real. But the ones that we have, Casper, I like he. You
want more.
Dude's going to push 20
Give
goals.
me more.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, who's next?
I like his art.
Who's next? Like where's the trail of prospects at? Who's next? Bring them. Who's next? Bring them. Like let's get them up here now and get it going so we can see what we have.
You
Cody,
gotta think, Sean, I would say what? At the very least, 2, I would say 3 of the 4 guys between ASP, Danielson, Mazer, and Kosa are going to start the season with the Red Wings. At the very least, 2 of those 4, probably 3 of the 4, with Kosa probably being the odd man out. I love that, and I expect them to improve the team. Does that make you a playoff team? I don't know.
I mean, but if they're good, though, but the line is so – I think what we're missing out on here, and we're forgetting, the line is so fun. What are we talking about right now? 4 points?
Yeah.
6 – like the
6
line –
points now.
The line is so fun. Like last year, it was because you get rewarded for losing was the line. That was the line. Like, I don't think that this – like the people here in the chat that are making it seem like, well, this is over – this team stinks, like that kind of stuff. That's illogical.
No.
You could be in a worse situation.
It's illogical.
And dude,
I think the line is much finer to where, and this is my frustration, is if you bring 3 of those guys up and they're all Marco Casper, do you think they make the playoffs?
Yes.
So do I. Like, that's the
But
line.
again-
Is that fair, Sean?
Yeah, I think you could have that conversation.
Again, I like, yes, we need to make the playoffs. Yes, I want to make the playoffs. I don't think making the playoffs is getting over the hump. I think where they're at
No, I would
right
agree
now,
with that.
winning a playoff series is getting over the hump. Being an actual team.
And to that point, this is how I've stuck up for Steve Yzerman since day one. If you take the time to listen to what a general manager or coach says, oftentimes you'll get the answer you're looking for. For Steve Yzerman, on day one, April 19th, 2019, this was not about getting back into the playoffs. This was about winning Stanley Cups. And going through that same era of prosperity that it took Steve some time in his career to get to, but eventually they got to, where legitimately every year, there was nothing wrong with you saying, man, I think the Wings should make a run this year.
Yeah.
I mean, really, when you think about it from 1995 to 2009, you could sit back every year and not be a slapdick and say,
They're going to win the Cup this year.
Yeah.
I like their chances, right? And so I think that's Steve's vision. Now, while I stick up for him in that regard,
You need to make the playoffs.
how close are they to that right now?
Not close.
Not even close. I'm sorry, they're not.
They're closer to being the Sharks than they are to being that.
Yeah.
To being a perennial Stanley Cup
As
threat.
bad as the Buffalo Sabres have been, and they have the longest streak, the Red Wings streak is the second. The Sabres have the longest streak. They're closer to being the Sabres. And I'm not being funny when I say that. Wow, look at all the talent we have. Golly gee, if we could just find a way to put it together. If we could just find... I mean, that's been the lament in Buffalo for years. So they brought back 387-year-old Lindy Ruff, the architect of their great success 30 years ago.
Lindy Ruff.
He'll fix everything. I mean, that's where we're at right now. So, and again, I'm not saying they're going the way of the Sabres, but if we're playing that, who are they closer to? They're closer to that. The problem is they're good. I think the Red Wings have a bunch of good players. That's the problem.
Ryan's reaction on the Super Chat. What sport would you say is the most difficult for a GM to get into the playoffs? And it used to be baseball, unequivocally.
Yeah,
but
not
they
anymore.
keep adding spots.
It's easier.
You know what I'm saying? So it used to be baseball for sure. Real quick in the chat before we go to the break, and Spenny, we did it again. So
Yeah, it's fine.
Sorry, Spenny.
No, it's fine.
No,
we'll do P. Fit and Caesars, and then we'll come back to Dr. Pierce.
Cody Engel, cool, Neil. We don't have parades for drafting. Well, you do, Cody, but not right after the draft. Don't you? I mean, when you have a parade, don't you have those parades for drafting?
Yeah, and like I love the draft picks. I do. You know, I love Casper. I think Casper is going to be really good. I love what I saw out of Aljo. Obviously, I'm a big Evanson Sider guy. These guys are good. But, like, as much as all of the draft, like, all of the best players on this roster are Steve Yzerman draft picks, all the worst players on this roster are Steve Yzerman free agent signings. So, like, for every Casper,
That's fair.
For every Casper you have Justin Hall. For every Soderblom you have Petrie. You know, and I think Ville Husso might be the worst contract. It's him or Justin Hall who are the worst contract that Steve Yzerman has handed out. And the difference between this team last year and this team this year was Perron and Gostisbehere. Perron and Gostisbehere were actual veterans that stepped up and made plays in important games down the stretch to try to propel them into the playoffs. Like, those were some of your big guys that stepped up and were veterans and were good veterans. Your veterans did not step up this year. You did not have good veterans outside of Patrick Kane and Alex DeBrincat.
We're getting to that point, Spenny, to your point where I think some of the guys that you were convinced were going to be here are not going to be here, and Steve can now use those assets to acquire perhaps the guy. And like I said, I'm just throwing it out there. If you want to go get a guy, you want to make a big, bold move, you want to tell your franchise you're serious, get on the phone with Don Sweeney right now. Tell Don Sweeney point blank, there's nobody in the league that can put a package together like us. I know we're in the same division. I know that that's a kick in your nuts to have to face him so many times in the Atlantic Division, but nobody's going to give you a better package than us. That would be a statement.
I would love Pasta on this team.
Real quick, as the Red Wings sit 12th in available cap space for next year at just over $25 million.
Not bad.
Free agent class by salary from this year. John Tavares, Mitch Marner, Jamie Benn, Nick Backstrom. Nick Backstrom, shout out to him. Getting $9 million at 37 years old. Brent Burns, Aaron Ekblad. I mean, Brock Boser's out there as well. He's a solid player. So,
but
that's
you
what,
understand my point.
Correct.
Do you know who the man is in the entire free agent class? Mitch Marner. And
Yeah, that it doesn't matter.
that's
Yeah.
it. Tavares is 34. Like, I mean, they're like Neil. They're good players. The Detroit Red Wings don't need any more good
No,
players.
they need
need
a
a
star.
dude.
They need a star.
So it's pretty much shit and get off the pot for
This
Steve.
is-
I think so, KG. I really do. I thought you guys were going to yell at me. I'm glad that you took
No,
it. You
it's-
took it very well.
I
We were
thought
all
Neil
mature
would yell at you.
today.
Why?
I thought you were all going to
No,
yell at
because
me.
I mean
we don't shoot them into the sun because they took their first step back.
No, but
in
there's
his
middle
entire
ground, and I didn't expect you
yeah.
to, but
Like I
there is
said,
middle ground.
They're at the hump. They got to get over the hump.
Yeah.
He's gotta figure out a way.
Where they are right now, if they get hot play and hot goaltending coming down the stretch, they're going to be 1 point away from the playoffs like they were last year. If they go cold coming down the stretch, they're going to be 6 points out like they are this year.
And this
They're a
this
borderline
doesn't matter.
playoff
Like the rest of this doesn't matter.
No. You
Good
got-
or bad.
you gotta
If they rip off the wins, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
If they lose them all, it doesn't matter.
Hey, guys, let's also forget, okay, I cannot stress this enough, okay, the Atlantic Division. Tampa has shown us definitively they are not going anywhere until they tell us they are.
Yeah.
Like, let's all get over it.
Doesn't matter.
I was one of those guys, Neil. I said to you, you use the line initial descent.
I thought Washington was dying.
Like, Tampa said to everybody, oh, no. We'll tell you when we're going away, okay? Toronto still isn't going to go anywhere. They're not going to win anything.
But they're not going to go anywhere.
But they're not going anywhere, okay? Boston is done. We know that.
Yeah.
And you got Montreal and Ottawa now.
Ottawa looks.
So you have four teams, 4 times 4. That's 16 of your games right there.
I could give you the whole airport breakdown of where.
Screw that. No,
where
I'm
everybody
serious.
is.
Screw that. That sucks. All of a sudden, the Atlantic Division is like, sweet mother of the Lord.
We'll have to do that one time.
Let's
Sean.
hope the Sabres stay sucky, and everybody will pound the Bruins, which is fine with me.
Yeah.
Fine with burn that, spoke all of it. I want it down. I want it burned to the ground. I mean, that's fine with me. But the rest of the division, you're just going, holy shit. Okay, where's the breather?
The Sabres are still packing the car. They live an hour and a half from the airport.
Easy.
Like they're,
We'll leave any minute now. Don't worry.
Do they gotta blow it up? Do the Sabres have to blow?
It's insane.
Doesn't make sense.
It really, I mean, they've had so much talent there.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
All right, Planet Fitness, everybody, live at the Planet Fitness studios. The kids' school schedule is different, so I'm going after the show today. But, hey, you can do that because Planet Fitness is open pretty much all the time. There's over 50 Metro Detroit locations. I'm really happy. I've been doing a lot of running for pace now, like 5Ks for pace. So I've kind of changed things up, but you can do that at Planet Fitness because there's tons of cardio equipment. Spenny's in there lifting weights and stuff like that. I dabble in the weights. I don't do a ton of it, but I dabble in it.
Back day today.
Back day for him. So there it is, everybody. That's what you can do. Anything you want in there. It's $24.99 a month. It's the best deal in all the gym game. And the bottom line is I don't know what else to tell you other than I'll never be a member at a different gym. Never. There's no way. PlanetFitness.com, pull in the parking lot. Planet Fitness, don't pay more money to lift the same weights.
What about Caesars?
Caesars Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. I know that Javi home run thing's gonna come through for everybody.
Damn right.
I know it is. And if you haven't done it yet, here's what
Should be back now. Should be good
Hi.
Hi. Hey, we're back, everybody. All you missed was a commercial break,
All you
right?
missed was, yeah, honestly.
You didn't miss anything.
Literally, we just came back.
Cigar Guy 911, yawn, now no draft talk. No, we're going into it right now, as a matter of fact. Just answer this question, because let me see here. We got the question for you, Sean, in the super chat.
Yes.
Real talk. What would it take to get Pasternak from the Red Wings?
You would want a young
Danielson in a pick.
Can I tell you what I do? I would ask for one of your young established players, and I'd start with Marco Kasper. Wouldn't even be my second thought. I'd over ask. I'd ask for ASP, and they'd laugh at me, and then I'd probably say Danielson, and I'd probably say a pick. That would
Kasper,
honestly.
Danielson in a pick.
Yeah. Don't be surprised.
What would
Listen,
you get
don't
for
be
him?
surprised if it. Don't be surprised if it isn't a package like that. If you want to get involved in something
it
like
will
that,
be.
Yeah. Don't be surprised at all. And oh, by the way, a pick as well. You know, and you guys know the routine with picks. Well, picks are great until you keep talking about picks, right? We all love picks. Do you see all the draft picks that they have to work with? Well, after 2 or 3 years, I don't want to hear about fucking picks anymore.
Yeah.
That's just me.
That was Dante 151 in the super chat.
Shout out.
But so what's the most you would give for him? if you're Iserman, what's the most you would give?
You have a slew of good players, and the risk that you're running is one of those good players turns into a great player. 100%. I would do something like that. If you trust your scouting, and you trust the way that you've done things, and you already have all these pieces, I would do a package similar to that. I wouldn't like it, but I'd understand that this is the necessity. And it's also...
Amadeus has been hot.
If you take a look at it, he did similar in Tampa, too. And then he was able to amplify violating the Habs, okay, in the Drouin deal was phenomenal. You know, I mean, Jonathan Drouin said, I want to be traded. And Steve said, great, we're not trading you anywhere. Don't know what to tell you. They got a stud defenseman for a guy he's never going to become anything in the National Hockey League. Here it is. He's all right. He's a guy. Yeah. Jonathan Drouin's a guy. As prolific as he was in junior, he was never going to be that guy. And that was part of the strength of Steve Yzerman is he was able to make a couple moves like that, dealing from assets, Neil, because right now the Detroit Red Wings have a lot of assets. They don't have a lot of studs. You want to go get a stud? Give up some of your assets.
All right, Sean, NFL draft. I'm going to lean on Spenny because I'm parachuting in starting this week. So
your boy got you. Don't worry about it.
Oh, man. It's back. Right here, right now, Spenny, what do we got?
The more I think about it, the more I look at what they're doing, the more I see what they're doing. I think they're going to trade back.
Oh, we got the trade back conversation. We back for real.
All right.
We really back now.
Damn. Don't use it all up right away, Spenny. Wow. Come on now.
No, for real. We haven't got a trade back.
Can we start
just
first? Can we start?
Here we go, everybody. You asked for it. Here we are.
If they stay at 28. If they stay at 28,
they're going offensive line.
I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't IOL.
Yeah.
But I will also say this, and I know I said this to you a month ago, KG.
Yeah.
What if James Pierce is there?
They're not taking James Pierce.
I would, but yeah, what they will do is a different story. My only thing
He's
about
such an Eagle.
My only thing at offensive line at 28, of course you can't be mad at that, but I would just say that guy needs to be a day one starter. I know that. Like Graham Glasgow can't be starting over your first round draft pick at guard. So
Tyler Booker from Alabama.
Yeah.
Tyler Booker?
He would start. Gray Zabel is a guy that they've had a top 30 visit with.
Yep.
Like I said, if they stay at 28, I think they're going offensive line. If, say, one of Shamar Stewart, who they've had a top 30 visit with, or Mikael Williams, who they haven't had a top 30 visit with yet, fall past 15 and get into that 17 to 22 range, I could see Brad Holmes moving up and getting one of those guys. If they don't fall there, if both of those guys go inside the top 15, I think Brad Holmes trades back. He's been talking with a lot of higher second round pick guys like Josiah Stewart. They've met with him a million times.
Yeah.
He's not going to be there at 60. So if they want to get him in the second round, and he would be a reach at 28. So if they want to get him in the second round, they would trade back. There are other players around there. They've talked to Nick Scorton. They like him as well.
A&M.
Same kind of thing. He would be a reach at 28, but he would not be there at 60. So if you want to get Nick Scorton, you do that. The thing that really got my fancies tickled yesterday is we are talking about Kenneth Grant. One Kenneth Grant is falling on draft boards.
Yeah.
Sometimes falling out of the first round.
No, in my mock draft, he fell in the second round. End of the second round.
He's falling out of draft boards.
Why?
And I don't know. I think it's the size. It's they.
I think it's insane.
We talked with Scott Bischoff and Russell Brown.
I'm familiar with him.
Yeah. You know him, right? Yeah. We talked with both of those guys, and they said that it's kind of he didn't test like Jordan Davis, and nose tackle or what he plays is such a niche position that a lot of NFL teams either have one that they don't really want to invest a first-round pick into a backup nose tackle, or they wouldn't use him like that. And so they wanted him to test more like a Jordan Davis, but he didn't. The Lions have two guys in that spot in Roy Lopez and DJ Reader that are both in the last year. Obviously, Roy Lopez only signed a one-year deal. DJ Reader in the last year of his deal. And Broderick Martin, complete nothing burger. If Kenneth Grant falls, I could see them trading back. And this is what I said. Them getting Kenneth Grant and Nick Scorton in the second round would be just an absolute out-of-the-park grand slam by Brad Holmes, because I talked about those big guys. Kenneth Grant would be the one in line to replace them. And then on the edge position opposite of Aiden Hutchinson, Marcus Davenport, Josh Pascal, Al-Quadin Muhammad, all on one-year deals. None of those guys are under contract next year, so you get Scorton over there for 4 years, and he's the type of guy that they like, but he also shows high pass rush upside, because you look at his year at Purdue before he went to Texas A&M, he had I think it was 10.5 or something sacks like that, and then he goes to Texas A&M, beefs up a little bit because the Texas A&M scheme isn't pin your ears back, get to the passer, it's gap responsibility, maintain the pocket type of stuff, and he only has 5 sacks. But he could be implemented as a pass rusher as well, and he's big, and he plays the run well, and that's what they look at in a defensive end. These guys that are saying Mike Green, Donovan Ozaraku, wouldn't even look at them. Those are two guys that are 6'3", 250 pounds. Those are not the edges that Brad Holmes likes to play with. Brad Holmes likes to play with 6'4", 270, 280, guys like Shamar Stewart, Nick Scorton, Mikael Williams. So,
Can I ask a question about Shamar Stewart when we come back?
Yeah.
Please do.
I just want to ask the question.
Him and Nick,
I'll draw the sword.
Yeah.
Everybody calm down, because and if Kenneth Grant didn't play at Michigan, would everybody in the chat be talking about it the way they're talking about it right now?
I think Kenneth Grant's going to be really good.
That was one question. All right, that's fair.
I think so.
That's fair.
I mean, you know what side of the fence I'm on.
I trust you guys.
I like Kenneth Grant. I think Mason Graham is arguably the best player in this draft outside of Travis Hunter.
I would say he is probably the highest floor.
Mason Graham?
You take him.
Yeah.
You got an 8-year, 9-year, 10-year dude.
Yeah, he'll make a couple.
No
Pro
question.
Bowls,
Yeah,
probably make an All-Pro at the very least.
Right.
And you can book it. It's like it's probably like a Sewell type thing where you draft him, you wait for the 4 years, You give him his contract, and you never have to worry about it for a decade.
Yeah.
Like that's my vibes
I like
on
Kenneth Grant a lot. I think his upside as a pass rusher is kind of slept on. Like,
Yeah.
And like I said, for him to be, it just makes so much sense. If you listen to Brad Holmes, what he's been saying about the contracts and paying all these guys, and now you got to work. You got your first wave done. Now you're worrying about Kirby and Branch and JMO and Gibbs and Campbell and all those guys. To look at 2 spots on this team that guys are on 1 year left. When you look at that not 3-tech defensive tackle, but the other one, the nose tackle, and that opposite defensive end, those are 2 spots where the guys are on 1 year contracts, all of them. So you get a guy to come in here, 4-year deal, nose tackle, paying him on a rookie contract, put him next to your highly paid defensive tackle in Lee McNeil, and then on the other side of your soon-to-be $40 million edge rusher, boom, rookie deal, 4-year contract. That fills your defensive line for the next 5 years.
And here's the thing, and we talked about this many months ago, okay? Here's the thing, for those people out there, there's more than one round, so if they, God forbid, they take a DL or an IOL, to all the people that are going to lose their mind, I'm not sure you know this, but there's like a Friday, and there's 2 more rounds that day. And then, wait, there's more, like the Ginsu commercial. But wait, there's more. There's also Saturdays where you get a round 4, 5, 6, 7.
If you draft an IOL now.
But I'm gonna break. You know what? Let's say they go with the DL.
Yeah.
Let's say that they go with the IOL. You know what? There are still impactful guys that fall in that range that you're talking about. Brad Holmes guys, okay?
Yeah.
Jack Sawyer,
Yes.
okay? 6'4", 260 pounds. Prince Umamumamumamumamuma
You're right.
from Mississippi, 6'4", 265 pounds.
I like him, yeah.
Those are the guys that, they can be had in the second round. They can be had in that general vicinity of pick 60. And, oh, by the way, we're also talking about, as you brought up, a GM who has shown he will jump up anytime he so fits.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what I'm loving.
Before we go to break, like I said, he's covering all his bases so far. Like I said, if they stay at 28, he has interviewed guys for 28 like Gray Zabel, and I believe they would go offensive line if they stay at 28. If his guy falls like Terrion Arnold did last year, he has interviewed guys that he would probably have to trade up to get, like Shamar Stewart. But he has interviewed more guys that he'd fall back and he'd trade. So it's open. It's truly going to be, I think, if Shamar Stewart or Mikael Williams slips outside of the top 15, Brad will get on the phone and try to get one of those guys. If not, I think he's going to trade back. And that's easy as convinced me of that. And it was pretty damning.
Isn't it weird how this draft has just snuck up? Like, I've never felt this way about a draft in my entire lifetime. It just seems
crazy.
like,
it's right here.
Wait a second. We're just a couple weeks away.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Less than that. Yeah.
Because the top end is not guaranteed home run hitter.
And you don't have a top end pick anyways. We talked about it yesterday on heavyweights too. Like, the draft is losing some of its mystique in Detroit a little bit because we don't have a top 10 pick. We don't have a pressing glaring need on our team. And I think the fan base it's the Jahmyr Gibbs effect to whatever Brad Holmes does is probably going to be the right move.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like it at first, even if it's you trade back to draft a running back,
you'll learn to love it.
Right.
It's probably going to be the right decision.
Skydog722, Neil, the guy next to you is a Sparty, and he can't stop talking about him. Stop it with your Michigan hate. Hey, Skydog, get out of your feelings, bro. Like, stop being a bitch. What did I say after that?
No,
okay, I trust you.
Listen, you guys.
You shut up after that.
I like, you know where I drop the whole college shit is once you go to, I don't give a hell where you went to.
It does
Can
not
you
matter.
help my team? Seriously, I couldn't give. How funny would it be though? Could you imagine like getting like a Buckeye or two and having them with a couple
Jack
of Wolverines up front?
Yeah.
We'll sing Kumbaya. Like, what the
Jack
fuck do
Sawyer,
I
that's
care,
how
right?
Stewart- yeah.
Can you guys get it to quarterback? I love every one of you.
Outside of my close personal relationship with Braylon Evers, small flex, and playing beer pong with Derek Walton at some high school parties, small flex as well. Aiden Hutchinson's by far my favorite Michigan athlete. I love Tom Brady. Aiden Hutchinson by far my favorite.
I'm Charles Woodson.
I've never liked a Wolverine as like I do Aiden Hutchinson. I fucking love that guy, man.
I'm Charles Woodson, and
I'm Jimmy King,
and I'm Drew Henson.
Jimmy King.
Okay.
And Drew Henson.
Shout out.
Now, the Drew Henson thing is a trolling thing. Like,
Justin Galena, as a State fan, I have a Hutch jersey.
You damn right
As
you
he
do.
should. He's
He's
the best player on your team.
Once you move into the pros, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, what does it
He's
matter?
the best player on your defense.
tell them where to find us on social, Spenny.
You can find us everywhere on social. I'll say Aiden Hutchinson's the second best player on your team right now. Find us everywhere on socials. If there's a social platform, Woodward Sports has a massive presence there. YouTube, Instagram, X, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, wherever you are, make sure you follow Woodward Sports on all social media platforms.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
Let's give it up for David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
All right, Woodward Sports, whether you're hitting a game or simply just chilling at the crib, Jars Cannabis has got you covered. Jars is home to Michigan's largest lineup of rec cannabis products. They've got 27 locations across the state, repping Michigan in a big way. 9 locations are right here in Metro Detroit, so there's always one nearby. If you're in Grand Rapids, Madison Heights, or Milan, get ready. New stores are coming your way soon. Go to jarscannabis.com to see where you can get your favorite product today.
All right, keeping it pushing. Neil Rule, Sean Belizean in for DMAC KG, Spencer Raxter, Chase in the Chase Lounge, all of you as well. And we're talking NFL draft. Danny G talks, and he leads me right into it here. If a defensive end like Shamar Stewart were to fall to 18 or 20, Brad will be calling everyone trying to go get
absolutely.
him.
100%.
That's the end that they think fits.
No
Absolutely.
doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And I liked your breakdown, Spenny. But at what point do you have to, sack the quarterback?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, I mean, that is the thing with Shamar Stewart. If Shamar Stewart had 8 sacks for Texas A&M last year, he would be the number 1 pick in the draft. He is one of the best athletes in this perfect RAS score, freak of nature, plays the run great, didn't have the production in college at all. And that is
like alarmingly not at all.
No, he had a sack and a half every year, I believe. Like, he had like 4.5 sacks in his career.
And that's with them too. Like when you're in the SEC and you're and like they would play Dame and stuff like that, but you get 2 freebies, 3 freebies.
The Texas A&M scheme is also not, like I say, it's not a pin your ears back, go get the quarterback type of scheme. Yeah. They ask those guys to be pocket containers. They ask them to play the run a lot and keep the quarterback in the pocket. That is evident to, like I said, Nick Scorton, who had over 10 sacks at Purdue and then goes to Texas A&M, which has a defensive line with 2 first-round picks on it outside of Nick Scorton, and he only has 5.5 sacks. You would think you go to an SEC team with that type of defensive line and you had 10 sacks at Purdue, oh, you're going to be a 14, 15 sack guy. No, that's not what Texas A&M asked out of their defensive lineman. I will give him a little bit of reprieve on that, but you'd still like more than 1.5 sacks.
You know, I mean, you know the old routine, though. And I can't help but think back of Ndamukong Suh. Do you remember, Neil, we lived in an era where people called Ndamukong Suh overrated because he wasn't loading up on sacks.
Yeah, and that was that.
But that's
that
different.
film, when you plugged in that film.
Yeah. And
you
that's
knew different.
Like that. I remember having that, like looking at
he
people,
wasn't an
people would
edge
call
either.
in and go,
exactly.
this is a guy that wants top dollar. It's like, okay, well, we're done talking football. Never call in about football again because you have no fucking idea what you're talking about. But here, you know what? If you can be an impact guy, I don't give a shit about your sacks. Let him eat. Spenny, you eat. You know, if I'm the guy that's going to be at the bottom of the pile, get my ass kicked, and you and KG are loading up on sacks, so be it. I don't give a shit. We just need more out of our front four. And I think this is the one, and you guys tell me if you disagree, I think that's one thing about this draft, and I was actually talking to Bischoff about this the other day. When you're talking about the first 3 rounds, there are probably 30-some-odd defensive linemen and edges that are going to go.
Yeah. Absolutely.
This is deep.
Insanely deep.
Listen, we're going to get a good player in the second round.
Maybe even 2.
We're probably going to get a good player in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
Like guys that might be able to come in and provide immediate impact. It's one of those years. I mean, go look at whatever mock draft you want right now or do one of the dumb draft simulators. I've done 5 this morning. But you know what? honestly, go. I know, KG, I got a problem.
You're a
it.
sicko.
Yeah. But listen, go look at all the edges and defensive linemen. You're going to get value. It maybe doesn't have to be in the first round, Spenny.
No, it doesn't. And like I said, that's why... Like, I think the 2 guys that Brad Holmes is looking at if they trade up to get their guy, are Shamar Stewart and Mikael Williams. If one of those guys falls out of the top 15, I think Brad Holmes will trade up anywhere to 17 to 22. I can see him going into that range to get one of those 2 guys. It's not going to. I do want to kill. It's not going to be Mike Green. It's not going to be Azaraku. Those guys are not going to be Detroit Lions. But.
James Pierce.
I think James Pierce is the second best pass rusher in the draft, Sean.
Thank you.
I do. And he would fit what they like, except he's an asshole. Is the word.
Fuck cares?
And if
No,
I saw,
but it's
I saw this
like
team
it's
pass on Jalen Carter,
All right.
they're not going to take James Pierce.
Y'all act
No.
like he murdered somebody. I'm just sick of
No,
that.
but like
Not- not-
it's
just
bad.
being
Sean,
honest.
I know it is. I know it is.
Yeah.
But can
It's
I
being
make the
realistic.
counterpoint? Because I have to. I always go back to what is the one thing we talk about the most about Dan Campbell? Seriously, culture.
Yes.
How he changed the culture. And that's the one thing, Neil, I think back. I had a front row seat to everybody losing their mind when the Pistons brought in that noted troublemaker, no good son of a gun. He probably should be executed by a firing squad, Rasheed Wallace. And Rasheed Wallace got here, and when in Pistonville, he did as the Pistons did. Is our culture, this is just a counterpoint, is our culture strong enough to say to a guy like James Pierce, we've heard all the stories, okay? This is the way we do business here. If you want to be here, you, when in Detroit, act as a Detroiter.
Absolutely.
Is our culture strong enough where
I
you
feel like it
can
is.
say,
I think that's up to
let's
him.
take a chance?
You got it.
No doubt. But that's, to me, that's, I think it's made a
think
lot
there's no
easier
doubt
when
it
you
is.
got a lot of guys around here in a strong culture that say, hey, dude, we've heard everything. fuck it all. You're one of us now.
At some point, it's going to get tested. And we've seen it with Isaiah Buggs. We've seen it with Cam Sutton in that situation. They can handle stuff like this.
Yeah.
And he's not even that bad. We're not even talking about off the field stuff. We're talking about allegedly, he's such a locker room problem.
Yes.
Yeah, uncoachable and shit like that. But
we talked to the same person.
Yep.
But I don't think you would be at an SEC school producing like you are if you were that much of a problem. Like, if I'm a coach and he was that much of a problem, you getting the hell out of my program. Hit the portal.
I've said this before. You guys know how I stand on this. I'm not drafting you or signing you to come to Detroit to raise my nephew. I'm drafting you or signing you to help me win football games. So I don't care if it was Yelzabut rushing the passer. If he has 16 sacks in a season, I'm fucking buying a jersey. But I could also be realistic and look at what Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell do, and that includes the small edge thing. Would I like Azaraku? Would I like Mike Green on this team? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But they're not going to do it. They've proven to us they're not going to do. They're not going to bring in James Houston. They brought him in here. He could sack the passer. He could do that. He was kicked off the team. He's gone.
Yeah, but he fell off a cliff, though.
They like guys that are 6'4", 270 pounds.
Right.
Yeah. They're not going to draft a guy that's 6'2", 250. They're not going to do it.
Neil, and I'm not saying I'm right.
That's got
I want to be, but honestly, it's a question I'd ask you. Are we at that point yet where we know we're close, where you say, let's go with talent? Are we at that point yet? I've heard the things.
That's what they do.
I think in the NFL, you're always at that point.
Yeah.
I think even the Titans right now are at that point. Everybody in this league is founded on talent, and it's been proven time and time and time again. When do you get in trouble in this league? When you can't play.
Yep.
When you do something you can't play. Like, it's been repeated. We've got tons of examples of it. Guys get in trouble in this league when they can't play. Yeah. Right or wrong, I don't care what you say. Like, it doesn't matter. That's when. And from what I've heard about the James Pierce, like, it's bad. Like, I've talked to different people than you guys, I'm sure. They're like no. Like,
he's such an Eagle. He couldn't be more of an Eagle. And the Eagles are going to draft him at the last pick of the first round.
Right.
And he is going to be after it's all said and done, it's going to be like, how did this guy not go in the top five?
I don't want to think about it.
It's going to happen.
I don't get it, though, but I guess that's why I get so hung up on it. And it's kind of going back to what Neil was saying. Shamar Stewart and Nick Scordon, those are prospects that I haven't been necessarily high on. And it's mostly because I like to look at tape. And, if it pops off on the tape, most likely it's going to pop off in the league. And for all those people, you're watching highlights, is not actual tape. We don't work for the fucking teams. Blow yourself. But, but when you see the tape, you can see, like, okay, these type of things will translate to the NFL. And I get scared because if you pick a guy like Shamar Stewart, okay, cool, but James Pierce, he ends up falling. He goes to a team like the Eagles and shows out, and we get a Shamar Stewart, and we kind of experience the same thing that we've experienced with Lions defensive ends, in which they're pretty good in the run game, but they're not going to pin back. They're not going to get to the quarterback. And at times, they may be injury prone. Like, stuff happens with our
KG,
defensive
I'll back it up and say this. They haven't been, quote, pretty good in the run game. They're one of the best run defenses in the league.
Exactly.
Consistently.
But what is this defense?
Repeatedly.
No, absolutely. But what has this defense been missing? I brought this up on the morning show. We haven't had a pass rushing presence absolutely since James Houston was here.
Right.
And that archetype, for people that say that archetype can't work next to an Aiden Hutchinson, I beg to differ. Like, it absolutely can work. You just got to go get a guy. I would much rather have a pass rush specialist than somebody that's all around and good in the run game.
They're just not going to do it, though.
I hear you.
Somebody asked me, I mean, literally just as we were sitting here, this goes back to the Michigan conversation. They said, what about Josiah Stewart later? And I think this goes back to what Spenny was saying.
He's playing Sam.
He's 6'1", 245.
Yeah, they like Josiah Stewart. They're drafting. He's not playing edge.
No.
He's playing Sam.
Yep.
He's gonna play.
1,000%. That's not an edge guy.
Yeah,
it's not.
And he can rush the passer. That obviously, but he's also going to be in cover. That's why James Houston got released, because he could get to the quarterback, but they can't play him on the defensive line, because if you play James Houston on the defensive line in the NFL, and I don't care if it's 3rd and 20, the quarterback's going to go audible. We're running right at that fucking guy.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you can't play him on the line. You could play him at Sam, but he can't cover either.
Right.
Josiah Stewart plays the run well, plays in coverage well, and he'd be Derek Barnes but better.
He's not the edge.
No.
I mean that's not.
He would be your Sam.
Sorry.
Skydog in the chat, but please, no more Alabama players in the first round. Yeah, because Jahmyr Gibbs sucks. So does
Right.
Jamison Williams.
Yeah.
He sucks too.
Right.
I'd take Tyler Booker.
I would take Tyler Booker too.
I'd take Tyler Booker.
Like I say, if they
I would
stay
love
at
it.
28, they're going to get an offensive lineman. If they move up, it's going to be for Mikael Williams or Shamar Stewart. If they fall, but I just think they're going to move back. Like I said, Grant and Scorton. I'm hurting for a Scorton. Like if you could get
Put the T-shirt in the store right now. If they draft him.
Somebody better get that. The Where's the Woodward store? Let's go.
If you could get Grant and Scorton in the second round,
Fuck me.
that would literally
That's a good draft.
that would set up your
Jeez.
defensive line for the next 5
I
years.
just got questions about Scorton. That's all. Him and Stewart. I just have questions.
Throw Scorton's Purdue tape on. Dude,
Yeah.
he got after it at Purdue. I'm just telling you that Texas A&M style of defense was not flattering to this. They had 3 arguably first-round picks on that defensive line and had like 8 sacks between the 3 of them.
Yeah.
Salty Pork Chops in the chat. Neil and Spenny, do you think Holmes will move up to 11 or 12, much like the JMO draft for Stewart?
I think 12 is
no
too
way.
high.
I think no way.
I think if he falls past 15,
That's
then we're
where.
in business.
Yeah, that's
Well,
where
like,
it
I don't
starts
think-
calling.
Yeah.
I just again, guys,
Why
like
not?
because I don't see him like Jamison Williams, all right?
Yeah.
Just because you're making the comp, so I didn't do it, you made the comp. Like JMO, there you could see there was a mercurial trait.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there was
Well,
a mercurial trait.
Shamar Stewart literally had a perfect RAS score, and that I know that's got. Brad,
And I know they dig the RAS
RAS
score, but I do like the football stuff too at some point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not Salty Pork Chops. I can answer it for me if I were Brad Holmes. No, because I'm not interested in cost of acquisition to get this guy. Kind of. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think that's in Brad's DNA either. I don't. That high.
Like there's got to be something mercurial about it, dude.
Yeah, I don't
when you're
think
gonna when you're gonna move a third round
like
pick.
I said, 15 beyond. Money.
The
I don't think a third round pick would
undeniable.
get you
I'm
to
sorry, I have to bring it up again. It's the greatest old bit in draft. I've done these draft shows for 25 years. Okay, you guys. There are going to be 2, 3, 4, 5 players that end up dropping multiple spots because quarterbacks are going to be taken that you never saw being taken. Just get and Spenny. This is I think this is a paid programming note. This is time for your Jackson Dart.
Oh my God, Jackson Dart!
That Neil, you know it. That is the one undeniable truth.
Neil know what it
there
is.
are going to
Just
be
wait on it.
quarterbacks that go earlier than
Yes.
anybody thought, and there are going to be more quarterbacks going earlier than anybody thought as well. So I think that helps things out. So to Salty Pork Chop's point, let's play a game of pretend, and you have the Christian Ponder pop up, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they called out Christian Ponder's name, I laughed.
Yeah.
I really did.
Those were good days.
Blaine
man.
Gabbert.
Cool, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Nick didn't work out for us, but I was like, oh, Nick Fairley just fell in our lap,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, so situations like that happen, and it's going to happen again this year. And I think, to Salty Pork Chop's point, not at 12,
No.
but I think we're going to start having those conversations about 16, 17, where those teams at the back of the draft, the Buffaloes, the Phillies, KC, Detroit, are sitting there going, holy shit, one of us better move up now because there are 4 prime edges sitting there, and we all would like one of them.
Yep.
Jackson Dart,
It's
the
happening.
Rams.
It's happening.
To the Rams?
That's what.
It's happening.
Mel mocked him to the Rams.
It's
I like the
happening.
Steelers. You could also look at the Saints. You could look at the Seahawks.
I'm not mad at
I think the
Rams.
Saints will take Shador.
Yeah.
The Saints?
Yeah.
You think he's going to fall to 9?
Yeesh.
Sure.
It's now I think we've gotten to the point, though. Remember, where not that long ago, people were like, second round early. He's going in the first round. Set your watch.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Dart.
Oh,
he's,
yeah.
He's going
Yeah.
in the first
No,
round.
He's going to go in the
Guaranteed.
top 20.
Well, and
Guaranteed.
this is why I say it all the time, though. You look at mock drafts from a month or two ago, they're laughable. Like, find one. Like, I save one every year. Like, the first week of January, I go back and I look and I laugh. And it's like, haven't you guys learned your lesson yet? These quarterbacks are going in the first round.
Yeah.
Set your watch to it, man.
Quinn Ewers could sneak into the first
100%.
round. Jalen Milrow could be a first round.
They invited him to the draft.
Yeah. Jalen Milrow is probably going to be a first round.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
But here we are,
That's
man.
what happens.
It's-
Yeah.
Man. It's like 3.5 quarterbacks in the first round every year. The top 3 in this draft are obviously Cam Ward, Shador, and Jackson Dart. And then Jalen Milroe's right on that borderline.
I keep hearing about Louisville's quarterback.
Yeah. Could be.
Like he's shooting up the board. It's clockwork, man.
Yeah.
Like you could set your watch
It's a lottery
to the
ticket.
draft talk,
It's
man.
almost like you have to wait to find out what the NFL teams think about it, right? It's almost like we've
Yeah.
been doing this dance for so many years now. But Neil, that's exactly what it is. Now we're starting to hear what the teams think about these situations. Now we're starting to hear, with no disrespect, I will say this until my dying breath, okay? You can say whatever you want about Mel Kiper, okay? You hate his guts, okay? Mel Kiper
looks like a
changed
penguin.
this, period.
Absolutely.
He did it.
He's
He
the
did it.
grandfather and the father. Like, literally, it's one of those things. He's grandfather and
Hey,
father.
Sean.
And I thank God every day that he did, because this is fun. This is the season within the season.
Speaking of that, Kuiper's got Tyler Booker going 47 to the Cardinals.
I think he does fall out the first round.
That far?
Yeah.
Really?
Let's go, Sean.
You're not gonna get a lot of offensive linemen off the board,
Sean.
I
except
think
for
you'll
a
see
couple
two in
until
first
the
round.
second round.
I think
Sean.
Zabel and Booker.
Sean.
That's my guess.
Come on.
Guards? Yeah.
Come on.
He said.
But-
did you hear that?
No, what did he say? Sorry.
Kuiper's got him 47. Tyler Booker.
I
Tyler
can see
Booker?
it.
Yeah,
can
he
see
had,
it.
Come
he
on,
had-
Sean.
He had Gray Zabel and Donovan Jackson over him.
I can see it.
Tyler Booker, I couldn't see 47.
Sean, come on.
I can.
I could see. I would have no
Let's-
problem if they picked Tyler
Let's get
Booker.
the edge and then bump up in the second to get Booker. Come on.
All right.
I'm going
sounds
Sean
good to me.
Belizean pants off at
sounds
that point.
solid.
Or you could stay at 60. And
Then
my
I
mind,
just sit there like
Yeah,
this.
when you
But
guys see me-
get Neil stuck looking at my dick. I'm just sitting there
Yeah.
like this. Going,
Oh shit.
They're
Sean,
off.
if you guys, I'll pull up to the draft party in the tearaways,
Yeah,
just
there
in
you go.
case.
Hell yeah.
Just in case.
In the tearaways.
Where are we going, Spenny? I forgot.
We'll just do give me Planet Fitness, and then we'll come back to Lady Jane's.
I'll be there in Planet Fitness. I'll be on the treadmill under an hour, as a matter of fact, because it's the best gym in the gym game. I'll never be a member at another gym. I know they give you hear a lot of these people on the air when they do the Planet Fitness reads and stuff. They get all the corporate talking points and stuff like that. I spend a good majority of my day at Planet Fitness, 5 days a week, sometimes 6. That's the way that it operates. So I don't know what else to tell you guys. I'll never be a member at another gym. That's how much I like it. And I've accomplished every fitness goal in my life. And Planet Fitness has been there for it. So that's real world stuff, everybody. PlanetFitness.com. You can do it too. Pull in the parking lot on the way home. It's Planet Fitness. Don't pay more money to lift the same weights.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in, sit down, relax, get an amazing haircut from one of our lovely, talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. You can get a hot leather neck shave, scalp massage, hot towel treatment, all that good stuff. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
All right, wrapping it up here. We're getting heavy into the draft, and this is just our initial. I just wanted to do a 30,000 foot, get the temperature of the room, see where we're all at. I think it's been fun today.
Man, this show flew by. What are we talking about? It's already 1 o'clock.
They all do.
We just not getting into the draft, the meat of the draft.
Yeah, no, but it's,
We have a nickel package tomorrow.
we do, and
And
by
Suburban?
the way, we do. And that's it's. I'm gonna do a little more football in the nickel package,
Cool.
than we would usually do. It's
All
gonna
right.
be draft. There's gonna be an NFL draft theme to it for the next couple weeks. We'll do a Lions one. I'm gonna do an NFC North draft one. We're gonna have a We're going to have a 6 through 10, as we kind of work our way down the first round of the draft. We're going to do that. What do you got, Spenny?
Just a little Red Wings prospect news. Dmitry Buchnelkov is named to the Russian national team. So
They still have one? Like, do they still have one?
Yeah.
Who do they play?
They're doing something. I don't know.
Hopefully that ends soon.
They're going on tour.
Sorry. I think that's stupid. I apologize. Hey, Putin's a bad guy. The war is awful.
The Russians had to be
Play
there.
hockey. It's so fucking
Russians had to be there.
I agree.
You're gonna deny Ovi that?
It's so stupid. Sorry.
Let me see. Mike G. Jackson Dart greater than Davis Warren. That's going to be the fun. I'm telling you guys, as we go through this, that's going to be the little fun thing because Spenny's on him. A lot of you are on him.
I know you waiting for him to fail too, so you can come here.
All the games I watch, Sean, and I watch a couple. I
Darts
gave the backstory. So the Pistons assistant media guy is an Ole Miss grad, and he's in.
Love
Like
that place.
he's in.
One of my favorite places I've ever
I'd
been.
love to go to
So
Ole
we're
Miss.
traveling. I lock in with them, because I'm there. I'll lock in too, and they love him, but they hate him.
Yeah.
Like that's because that's the nature of the quarterback,
Yep,
right?
feast or famine.
It's just every big moment, he's over. He's literally over every big, and I put a lot of stock in that stuff. I know some people don't. I do. That's my Caleb Williams thing. Every big moment, he's over. Like that's what I see. I see the tools just like you guys do. I see the arm. I see him throwing on the run. It's fun, right? Like he's throwing on the run. Yeah, hee-ha. Like that's fun. I get that. At some point, it's like the Shamar Stewart. At some point,
Right.
you got to do it.
Yeah.
Like you can tell me about how you're going to do it, how you have the tools to do it, but here I am sitting over here. I'm in the did it crowd, and I'm alone. So
Be careful with that did it word, but
did it. Did it.
Period.
Correct.
All right.
I'm
just trying to protect
he's
you.
better than Quinn Ewers.
Listen, can we take a road trip? Let's talk
so
to.
down.
Listen, let's talk to an RV place. I'll drive you all down there.
Oh my God.
We'll
that would
hide
be
KG once we cross into
certain parts.
KG. There's once you hit Mississippi all the way to Oxford.
You just
we're
stay down.
we're gonna-
Hey,
you
you
just
ain't
stay
gotta
down
tell
and
me
back,
twice. I'm
okay?
chilling.
But once we get back into Oxford, civilization returns. Man, is that place cool?
I'm
One of
so
the
down.
coolest places I've been. Seriously.
Yes. Chris, Lions going to trade up for Cam Scatabo at Motor City Dan Campbell
In what
kind of
round?
guy.
Yeah.
He's going to be the one.
In the 4th or 5th round, like
Yeah, he's
He'll third. I bet.
yeah,
Third.
maybe.
he's
Third
going to be the one that
Yeah.
when the Lions pick third, it'll be the end of the third round. You know it.
Somebody's in it. Yeah.
You know it. When the Lions pop up and the best availables are on there and someone sees Cam Scatabo and is like 4'6", 40 or whatever it
Yeah.
is, they're going to be like,
But look, you can do everything.
yeah, right.
Right.
You know, Spenny, he's going to be the one that I'm going to be like,
Hey,
oh,
Span, since I got you here, Sam is big on my man's Willie Lampkin, and I'm not sure if you know who he is, but
Willie
he's-
Lampkin?
Yeah, he's the shorter offensive guard. Sam is really big on him in the third round. Like,
I like Tate Ratledge a lot in
Thank
the 3rd
you,
round.
thank
this
you.
is, you know what,
You'll
low
get him
key,
in a second.
Yeah.
this is my favorite part of the draft talk.
Yeah.
Like everybody gets their little, their guy that they're on in like the fifth round.
I hate to be a sizist, but
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just like Brad Holmes not going for a 5'11" fucking guard.
I
The
like
reason
Tate
I love
Ratledge
it-
because he's 6'6", 310. He runs a 4'9".
He looked like Spinny.
Yeah, he's got the mullet,
Yep,
the
mulleted
mustache.
beard,
He's aggressive and nasty in the blocking game. He played at Georgia, so like he was playing against the best of the best. The only thing is like he gets too aggressive. Like it's got to be
Cool.
rein it back a little
Cool.
bit, big fella. Like,
No, I need that out of my
He
offensive
gets
guard.
beat in pass blocking sometimes because he's too aggressive trying to punch. But get him in there with Hank Fraley.
Yeah, he'll be good. That ain't work.
It's to me, I love this part of it, Sean, because we all got our guy, late round guy. None of them ever work, ever.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
No.
Like Spenny's like,
No.
yeah. None of them ever work.
Bishop and I love Derek Barnes, like we did. And he is what he is. Like I'm not bitching, but I think a lot of times we, in our earnestness to be the smartest man in the room, we kind of put guys on pedestals that they don't
Yeah.
belong.
And that's my favorite part. And we all got one.
Yeah.
we're all guilty.
Oh,
of
yeah.
it.
I like Tate Ratledge a lot.
We'll
Okay.
do that too in
Georgia.
do that too in the
Georgia
draft
dog.
run up. Like, who were you wrong about? Like, I love that segment. The Lions draft picks. Who were you wrong about?
I'm still not wrong on TA. so that's fine.
Yeah.
Or Chop Robinson. I was
Not
a big
yet.
Chop Robinson guy.
Let's revisit that next year.
I'm talking like Aaron Gibson. I had an
Yeah.
unhealthy
Oh,
love
yeah.
for
I-
Aaron Gibson.
I'll tell you point
tough.
blank, though. I'm going to say it again. 2 years. Give draft picks 2 years.
Yeah.
Can we just do that?
We can do that.
Yes.
We'll have that conversation next year, okay?
You guys remember how badly I wanted Christian Gonzalez?
Yeah.
Like that would have been a pretty
Boss
good pick.
Bailey.
Boss Sean,
Bailey.
you know what's funny is very good friend of mine was a team doctor for them, trainer. They gave the draft reports. His knee was bone on bone.
Jesus.
They literally told Matt Millen the cartilage is like borderline gone, will be gone within 2 years. The cartilage will be gone. They told him that. It was the only time, I was told it was the only time that the medical team to Matt Millen said absolutely not.
Yeah, he did it.
Well,
Oh, it's almost like Millen went out there and made picks on his own or something, right?
They pounded the table. All right. Nickel Package Friday, Bourbon Friday tomorrow. Can't wait.
That's what I
everybody.
was waiting on.
Draft heavy nickel packages. For Sean Belichian, KG, Spencer Raxter, Chase, I'm Neil Roll. Thanks for tapping in. Well, see you later.
Week.